सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः. May the Lord protect us. May He nourish us. May we acquire the capacity to study and understand the scriptures. May our study be brilliant, and may we not cavil at each other. Om, peace, peace. Dear brothers and sisters, loving Sai Ram to all of you. We welcome everyone to the Sri Sathya Sai Baba Center of Arcadia. We are grateful to Swami and everyone for able to continue this Gita Jnana Yajna. So we are on going to start chapter 17. In the book, hard copy, it is page 156 and soft copy is 76. This is for the commentary, but the original Gita still, we are on the chapter 8, Akshara Parabrahma Yoga. Still Swami is continuing the commentary about the chapter 8. I think now and then refer to the original text. That will give you a better overview of what Swami is telling, because Swami is spending a lot of time explaining each word, like last time, having Puranam, Anushasitaram, how much he explained. In the original text, you don't see that much explanation. Swami went word by word, so that is the beautiful commentary. And here also, in the coming chapter, is going to discuss same continuation of chapter 8, and then they will transition to chapter 9, which is called Rajavidya Rajaguhya Yogam. Rajavidya means royal knowledge. If you want to get any royal knowledge, that is royal knowledge. And Rajaguhya, royal secret, because he says, I don't tell to everybody. He says, I love you, all of you. He's saying, I'm telling you this secret yoga, secret royal, so that we become one with him. That is the whole purpose, is how to do Sayujya, become one with God, and realize who you are. They're all same, so don't get confused. So sometimes I'm Atma, love, I'm Brahman. So everything is the same. So the same eternal truth are merging with God. So depending if you are Bhakti path, you say, oh, I went and merged with Lord Krishna, Rama, Sai. If you are Jnana path, they say, oh, I know who I am that Atman, Brahman. That is the clarity you should have. That is the whole purpose. We are doing all sadhana, whether we are singing bhajans, whether doing seva, whether we are doing study circle, whatever we do, that is the purpose. So if it is taking us towards that, it is good. If it is taking away from that, even so-called bhajans, service, or study circle won't help, because in the name of bhajans, in India and everywhere, I see more fights than anything else. Why didn't you give me a chance? I'm a great singer. These are partial. So just everybody can sing. Organization may not lead. That's why people get confused, leading versus for. Everyone can sing, but you cannot lead, because only some people are. Swami himself made that happen. Some people only he appointed. Even among thousands of singers, he had only 30, 40 people singing. So because you are not leading, it doesn't mean you are not singing. Still you sing. So with that attitude, because I see India, everywhere, senior people also get. And same thing, service. When we do the service, there is an opportunity to do. If service is not able, can't do, it's okay. So the best service is to know who you are. Swami told me, and everybody should know that. But other things is okay to give food, water, shelter, food, education, health. And the self-inquiry is oneself. So last study circle we did, three important things. One is how powerful japa is. And there are 5 types of japa. Anybody, we talked about it. Anybody who wants to say what are the 5 types? So anyway, I will tell again. So that at least go on thinking, then you will say that. One is Vachaka Japa. Om Sri Sai Ram. That is called Vachaka Japa. You can hear. Then Upamshu Japa. You see my lips moving, but you don't hear. That is called Upamshu Japa. That is actually, they say, 100 times more powerful than saying it loud. Then is Manasika Japa. You say inside. Nobody even knows that you are saying. At least Upamshu Japa, your lips are moving. So Manasika Japa, only you know that you are doing. Then finally it will lead to a Japa. That without your knowledge, it will go on. I gave the example that Subbareddy Swami touched his hands. It's like an implanted tape recorder. People play outside Gayatri Mantra, goes on 24 hours chanting. So imagine same thing in your heart. All the time the machine is going. Rama, whatever your Gayatri, whatever it is. That is a Japa. And the fifth one is, which is Likita Japa. You write the name of God, divine name you write, called Likita Japa. So the most powerful is a Japa without your knowledge. So it is also like Soham Japa, you know you are that. And then we talked about also the time, and Swami said how that gets rid of all our sins. That's why one of the letters he wrote to the students and teachers, I think we published in the Eternal Companion, the people who have the name of Sai on their lips all the time, they will be Jivan Muktas. They will be liberated while alive. You don't need to leave the body. Even when you are alive, you will be liberated if you all the time, Sarvada, Sarvatra, Sarvakaleshu, Harichintanam. Always think about that, you will be Jivan Mukta. And then, but to do that, Arjuna says, oh my God, it is not easy. Then he says, you need to practice. Is there anything you can get without practice? How long did you practice for tabla? You took at least for a while, right? You just one day go on, you can do that. Same thing, bhajan, you practice. Same thing, tennis, football, anything in life without practice, you can do a good job. Even the great experts, they go on practicing. It is important. Abhyas, that is why it's called Abhyasa Yoga by itself, is practice, constant practice. And then he says also, meditate on me. Right? He talked about meditation, dhyana. There, he says it's not easy. So, because here, there are two problems. There are some yogas, like Hatha Yoga, they start the yoga, the third stage, asana. They focus on asana and pranayama, breath control. These two they teach more. And there are yogis who teach meditation. They start with dhyana. All that both are wrong because there is a sequence. Like you want to go to college, you can't just go to medical school, second year you have to finish it. Elementary school, high school, college, and then go. Similarly, there are stages. First is yama, then niyama. So first you need to do that. Then asana. That is the time you do asana. Asana posture important so you can really focus your spine erect and you can focus that. Right? Then comes pranayama, breath control. People focus on third and fourth. Then pratyahara, you withdraw from the outer world. Then dharana, then you concentration. Then dhyana and samadhi. Then you do the meditation. And then finally samadhi. These are the stages. So we start either at the seventh stage with the dhyana, that way without this it won't work. And same thing, you end up in the third and fourth, that is asana and pranayama. So you need to go through that. What is yama and niyama? Anybody knows here? No, that shama and dhamma. Shama is mind control, dhamma is sense control. Here, yama is something related to what you do outside people, deal with the world. Yama is first is asteya, feelings. Don't take somebody's, so you go there And even but the Swami was telling one time, people go around, take the flower somebody else's yard or tree and put to the Swami as if you are taking somebody else's, as if the tree itself can give the worship to God. That is what Sri Ramakrishna used to offer. And finally said, taking the flower, he has so evolved. This tree is worshipping the Lord with its blooming flowers. Why should I deprive that of the opportunity? Anyway, it depends upon your level of thinking or plucking at some, taking away somebody's thing, trying to do that. Anything that is called asteya. Even Buddhism, everywhere, even Christianity is don't steal anything. Taking, that's the one of the many commandments. And then parigraha, and also try to not take any things from others easily, because people, when you accept, then you are taking their responsibility for what they do too. So in general, as much as possible, aparigraha is one of the important things for a spiritual seeker, because you huh? Yeah, one part of it, yeah, I'm coming to that. First is this thing, asteya, is not stealing, aparigraha, not accepting, like people gifts or anything from others. Easily don't accept, people give with love, but still be careful. Like I go around the world with a lot of love they give, but I had to tell them politely and lovingly. Swami told not to do, and Swami encourages that not to do that. And then third thing is Sathya, that's truth, being truth. And fourth is Brahmacharya. And you can say one explanation is celibacy. So just have that sense control of celibacy. So that is thing. And fifth one is ahimsa. Don't hurt others by your thoughts, words, and deeds. By deeds, we don't hurt, we don't hit anybody. At least hope not. Nobody hitting and violently doing. But by your words, you can do himsa. You can hurt. Sometimes it's more powerful. People may not forget when you slap them or hit them, but when you say something, at least some people carry it for years together. Oh, you told me that day, and then they carry it for even generations, which is bad. But don't that you should be careful what you say. Very soft, truthful, and that is why Swami give the example of Lord Rama, his character. He is Satyabhashi, always tell the truth, and he is Madhura Bhashi. He's so sweet. Even Swami is like that. Whatever he says, so sweet, and he is Hitabhashi. Whatever he says helps other people. Just for the sake of saying, he won't talk unnecessarily, waste his time, others' time. And he is, I said, Satyabhashi, Madhurabhashi, and Mitabhashi. He doesn't talk too. Good, he is filling up the gap. That means if he is listening carefully, good, Mitabhashi. So because sometimes people say, my God, when is he going to stop? He's going on and on. So Mitabhashitvam is very good. So you should have Mitabhashi. So similarly for us, you need to practice that along with this Satyam, this Ahimsa. That is why, and highest thing is not easy. I struggle. A lot of us struggle. Even in thoughts, you cannot think of anything negative about people. Ahimsa. In thoughts, always think of the good of others, good of everyone, the whole universe. That is the highest. In thoughts also, we cannot have that. So that is these are all the aspects of yama. Niyama, huh? Niyama is not, niyama here in Patanjali Yoga Sutra. Niyama is actually niyama nishtha, or that's discipline, the discipline I every day. But here in Patanjali Yoga Sutra, niyama is composed of saucham, that means purity, external purity and internal purity. External purity is what the food we eat, we should be pure, the water we drink, the air we breathe. Because nowadays everything is polluted. So all those should be pure. The environment where we sit, it should be clean, like in the place of worship in the house. So external purity we need to have, and taking care of the body. So I'm used to one time just the discourse was 15 minutes was only about taking bath, brushing teeth, because he says, and he used to call some people interview Westerners particularly. A lot of them, I don't know that it's a habit. They don't take bath. It has happened even to some of our people who live here. They don't take shower every day. He says take shower every day, brush your teeth every day, because he says there are so many people in a small room. He says it's hard for him to bear that smell. So simple body cleanliness. So there is, and then this. Then the internal purity is most important. Antarshaucham. That means not to have these negative things. Desire, anger, greed, jealousy, attachment, and pride. That is the one thing, saucham. That is the one of the niyama. Second is santosham. Always be happy, content. So don't have a castrol face. Even if you have something, grumble. So whenever we have a nice house, I wish I have another house in the beach or I have in the mountain. But people don't even have sit under the tree. They don't care. At least have some food to eat. If particularly when you go travel to countries like Africa, Madagascar, Kenya, Uganda, we will count how blessed we are. We have a shelter over our head and we have food to eat, water to drink. So you need to count your blessing. Be happy with what you. That is one of the important. Yadrucha labha santushto. Always be happy with what you have. Don't go on craving more and more. There is no ever end. Any number you have, you are a millionaire, billionaire, trillionaire. So there is no end for that. So that contentment is very, very important. That is a part of the niyama. And another is swadhyaya. Always read the words of the Lord, avatars, scriptures like Gita, Upanishad, Brahma Sutras, Ramayana, Bharata, Bhagavata. So these are all inspire as noble ideas it gives. So we should have that swadhyaya. Another thing is called the highest, ultimate. Ishvara Pranidhana. That means surrender to God. Lord, I am my body, mind, soul, everything is yours. You do how you want to use in your divine mission. Ishvara Pranidhana, the ultimate last word. That is why the Yama, this Ishvara Pranidhana. That is this is Yama and Niyama. When you have that, then the asana will help. I know there are a lot of asanas, Padmasana, this asana, that's 20, 30 asana. And the asana, because just to make your body steady and healthy. Then comes pranayama. Breath control is also very, very important. So how to, if you want to meditate, you need to be able to study. Then pratyahara. Just don't get too much worldly entanglements going here, there, everywhere. Your mind gets agitated. So you need to fill the body. That is why one Swami I had shared before says, Hilo mat, to go on shaking. In Hindi, Hilo mat, always go to some people go on shaking hands, legs, or head, or body jumping around, no still. So Hilo mat. And second thing is Bolo mat, go on talking, so don't talk too much. And then third is Socho mat, go on mind restless, always thinking. So just have that Pratyaharas. Be stillness in the thought, word, and body level. So that is the Pratyahara. Then comes Dharana. Dharana is concentration. How long? We many times said.
11 seconds.
No, that 11 seconds, if you think, God will appear. Dharana is 12 seconds. 12 seconds is Dharana. Dhyana is 12 times 12, 144 seconds. That means 2 minutes, 24 seconds. 12 times that becomes Samadhi. So that is about 28 minutes something. Jupiter, what is the calculation? 2 minutes, 24 seconds multiplied by 12. So less than, so then itself you are Samadhi. So somebody says, oh, I'm meditating for 2 hours. You may be doing something else. I don't know. You cannot, because once you reach half an hour, you are in Samadhi already. What can you do beyond that? So you imagine that you are meditating. So probably you're sitting quietly. You can say that I'm sitting quietly for the last 2 hours. So like that, this is the process. When you do, then you can really meditate and think about God, connected to God, then you can be one with Him. So what we discussed last week, so now we will start chapter, unless you want to add anything to the last time's discussion.
Sairam, couple of things. One, you said that for singing bhajans, you really actually don't have to sing. When you listen, when somebody else is singing, that gives a tremendous joy. And the same with the service. The day that when you couldn't do, if somebody else is doing, whether it's listening and you see them do, it gives you such a powerful joy.
Yeah, that is what Lord Krishna says. Atmopanena sarvatra samam pash. You identify with the other person, you are experiencing the joy through them. When you are doing that, even quietly contemplate, that is called bhajanananda. So just you completely immersed in that. Sometimes you probably enjoy more when you are listening bhajan, because the guy who is leading the bhajan, they're tense. My God, is coming, I will lose the rhythm, something may happen. So they are more tense, so they may be focused on the bhajan itself, not on the worship here. Whereas the person who is listening, he has nothing, no other things, so just he will be, but you can do those singing also, you can be absorbed, but even listening, you can be absorbed in the thought. So anything, so same thing with service, just if you have no opportunity, just be happy.
One more thing, Sairam. You said about the purity. That's the September Eternal Companion editorial. We did that last week, satsang here, since that's our theme. Purity is our enlightenment.
Yes, part 2 is coming, I think.
Right,
October.
in October.
Yeah, so just to have already ready. So because people cannot read the whole study guide, Purity is Enlightenment. Did you read it? So there is so many, it's 63 pages, I think, with this. So if you can, at least this you read it, it's few pages. So at least it gives the summary and overview of the major points.
Yeah.
So then you can come prepared for the.
That's really beautiful. Sairam, in chapter 17, I just want to share, there are going to be 4 main topics that are going to be focused in this chapter. As we just talked, is a continuation of remembering God at death, and 2 types of liberation, and 4 roads to moksha, and auspicious times to pass away. And so now start. Whoever is busy with no other thoughts than those about me, whoever is ever remembering me, he certainly will release his dying breath through the center of the head. He will attain me. I'm as near him as he is near me. My dear Arjuna, how can I forget him who never forgets me? Forgetting is a human frailty, not the characteristic of God. Let me tell you, there's no need for yoga or tapas or even gnana. Whether you give these up since you're too weak, or whether in spite of having the strength, you don't feel like struggling to master these, it doesn't matter. I don't ask for yoga or tapas. I only ask that your mind be fixed on me. Devote your mind to me. Dedicate it to me. That is all I ask for. If a sadhaka can do at least this act of dedication to the Lord, I wonder what his sadhaka is capable of. If you plead that you have not the strength of mind, I ask where the strength comes from to dedicate yourself as you do now to hollow idols, the vain, the fantasies of family, fortune, and fame? Can you not direct this strength for that supreme dedication? Man easily offers his all to poisonous objective pleasures, but squirms and protests as if a mountain is tumbling on him when the call is made to dedicate his thoughts, feelings, and acts to the Almighty. Salvation in his eyes is as cheap and as easy to attain as greens in vegetable market. He seeks to escape from bondage as easily as that. He does not yearn much, but he desires to earn much in the spiritual field. He's sunk more in tamas than in tapas, but he wishes for the fruits that tapas alone can offer. Those who are prompted by genuine desire for the fruit must overcome all obstacles and temptations, doubts, and disappointments, and dwell on thought of the Lord. Then the Lord will not keep apart. He will confer on that sadhaka to the status of sameness described as Aham Brahmasmi. I am you, you are I, we are one. And the sadhaka will be contemplating this unity without break. This is referred as Ananya Bhava. I'll stop here. Um, so here the another thing, the continuation from last chapter is really focusing on constant remembrance. You just remember me. Um, and even he's saying that's how the once you remember, it's all, I think, the divine way, it's all taken care that you actually leave that last breath, and they call it as the center of the head, which is the sahasrara chakra, which is the highest chakra, the seventh chakra in the body. But I think the most important thing is once you remember, you become so dear to the Lord, and He won't forget you. So that's, I think, the and also other thing here. I know in the past we said, I know it's very difficult to get to this stage, but he says here, I don't ask you to do yoga or upside down tapas, none of that. You just remember me. That constant remembrance is very emphasized. And also, I think I was really thinking when I was looking earlier, I know we say, we can't really have that clarity, constant remembrance. But here, they said it so clearly here that you have so much focus and do so many other things to get to, material or monetary benefits. But but I think you can really do it in here. They simplify. As if you put your mind, you can do it. But the other thing to brings it to the stage is to if you have that constant remembrance, Swami, Lord Krishna guarantees that you realize that Aham Brahmasmi, the highest knowledge, which is one of the Mahavakya from Yajurveda. So this Ananya Bhava, once you have that understanding, that unity, which is also same as Brahma Bhava, I think. With that.
So the main thing is people think only through yoga or tapas you can get God. So it's good to do this. Swami says not that you cannot do yoga. We do yoga, tapas, jnana, good. But you don't need to do that if you constantly remember him. That is why in the one of the 9 paths of devotion, Navaveda Bhakti, this is Vishnu Smaranam. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam. Right? Who is the greatest example of Vishnu Smaranam all the time? Prahlada. Always remembering the Lord. That is why, Lord, you need to remember, always remember. So, Swami, I have seen, God will never forget us. We don't need to, it's not a business only. If you think of me, I think of you. He always thinks of us. We forget about it. I have seen that there are people around Swami for whatever personal agenda, their wishes not fulfilled, they have left. I have seen senior devotees after many years, 30, 40 years, they left. But when I was with Swami in different occasions, Swami remembered about them, that he thought about them, he thought about their welfare. That is God, that pure, unconditional love. He doesn't think whether they always love for love's sake. So main thing is constantly remember me. He said, how can I constantly remember you? It's not easy. So you need to constantly remember me, always be connected with Swami. That is why even our Shivratri time, first we used to have only bhajans from the beginning. Half of the people sleep after a while doze. So you need to change it. Like in different dishes, you eat food so that you get interest. Same thing. Sometimes you sing the bhajan, sometimes you listen to his discourse, sometimes do the abhishekam. So different ways, then you keep engaged. Same thing, to be connected, Swami, go on looking at the pictures of Swami in your house, anywhere. That is connected. That time, as long as you're looking at the picture, you are connected to Swami. You see Swami's videos or things, then you are connected to God. When you are reading the Leela's books, you are connected to God. When you are doing service, so different ways. It doesn't need to be one, because only one way a lot of people get lose their concentration, lose it. So always somehow either visually or hearing about his stories or hearing about his leelas, reading about them, doing his work, somehow or other, you are connected. Once you are connected with God, automatically always your thoughts. Then you will get that stage, he says, and you realize you are that Brahman. This Ananya Bhava is very, very important. Ananya Bhava means there are so many types of bhakti. So usually most of the time, the Sri Ramakrishna used to say, Vaidika Bhakti we do. That means we do Archana, we do flowers, which is all good. That's the preliminary thing. That's what Swami says. So scripture says, Pradhamam Pratima Puja. First stage. Nothing, we should do that because everybody is not. Madhyamam Japastotradikam. Next, you should have all. You do the Japa, Sai Ram, and Stotram. You sing his bhajan, Stotram. Madhyamam Japastotrad. Uttamam Manasi Puja. As well, Adi Shankara wrote a beautiful Manasik Japastotra. Just read that, shows how everything is inside. You think, bring the God into your heart because he is Hudayavasi, he is not there outside. As long as you think he is outside, you will never attain the goal. That is why Swami gave a beautiful example, Draupadi. And she was being humiliated, disturbed. Lord Krishna took some time to come. You know that? Why? That Swami said. She said, oh, Dwaraka Vasi. And she asked Krishna, why you took so much time? Those guys were bothering me. He says, you called me Dwaraka Vasi, so I have to come all the way from Dwaraka. If you say from Hudayavasi, I would have just right away come. So instead of saying for us, Pattivasi or Kashivasi, Shridivasi, Hudayavasi. So he repeatedly said, then right away he manifests. That is the conviction you should have, calling the God. So I was telling, yeah, this is the Ananya Bhakti. So always being thinking about him, then he responds. Draupadi, that example, you can learn so much. Draupadi Swami says in humiliation, one thing is you identify God is within you. Second thing is whatever little you do for God, get thousands fold. What did she do? When Lord Krishna was hurt, he had in a festival, just as his drama. So in the future, he knows he has to give her saris. He had a cut in his finger, and there were so many his concerts, Rukmini, Sathya, everybody was there. But she didn't think about the new saree she has. She tore it apart. She didn't even think twice and put that around his finger. So he has to, if you gave a little bit, if you take one step, I'll take 1,000 steps. So in that time, just for the little piece of the sari, he has to give ton loads of saris. So whatever you do for God, we may forget that we forget human beings when some good somebody does, we forget no gratitude. But God never forgets every little thing we do. So he used that. And third thing is lesson. So she was holding her sari when they were disturbing. As long as she was holding, he didn't do anything. And she says, Lord, I can't do anything. Put the both hands up, do whatever you want, Lord, only Krishna. Then only he came. That means when you completely surrender, God comes. Whenever you are partial, I want, and some God wants, it doesn't. Lord, everything is yours. Completely surrender, then it happens. Another major lesson is in that place, it's a public place, so many people were there. Bhishma, he is the greatest hero, Dronacharya, Upacharya, and then her own husbands who are each one powerful, Bhima, Arjuna. So each one can vanquish this. None of them could do anything. To show in the time of crisis, your family cannot do anything, nobody, only person who comes to your help is God. So dependent on God, it is now nice to love family and friends, but in the crisis they shown nobody could help her. Only one who can help her was Lord Krishna. So these are the various things, how you surrender, and when you think about it, God thinks about you more. These are the nice lessons. But we'll talk about it. I think time is almost, I didn't know when we're talking stories. This Ananya Chintayanto is very important shloka. So I'm giving you homework, all of you who read. There are 3 shlokas. Swami said, all of you have to repeat. Prajnan, 3 shlokas in the whole of Gita. It is like a balance, he said. Middle of balance is Ananyas Chintayanto Mam. This is in chapter 9, shloka 22. On the left side of the balance, whenever there is a balance, left side, right side, there is a thing, and middle is Ananyas. Left side is chapter 2, shloka 7. Karpan. Good evening, guy. You remember exactly Karpanya dosha upasvabhava. Yes, that is the one. This is Ananyas Chintayantomam is 9:22. And the last one is 1866.
Sarvadharma.
A plus. Good. Sarvadharma Parichaj 18. These 3 shlokas, rest everything it should is good God's word. But these 3 are the most critical thing giving the message. Swami says, if you contemplate, so we'll talk next week when we talk about, because it will take a while. So these are the important to have that Ananya Bhava. When you have that, then you will proceed. Anybody has any comments? It is, we are talking, anybody?
Aravind has a question.
Huh?
There's a question online. Listening to Ashtanga Yoga, I feel that I'm not even doing the first step of Yama. So should I focus only on it, or can I parallelly practice asana, pranayama, and dharana?
Yeah, you should parallelly practice. That is very important, because you can't, because why I was telling that example is people just only focus on the asana and pranayama, don't do others. That is not good. Only go to dhyana, forget about dharana, some other is not good. So you should have combination. You should, when you are doing this pranayama, pratyahara, you should try to also make sure, hey, really, I'm having no covetousness. Am I following truth? Am I having a brahmacharya? And brahmacharya, one meaning, general people see celibacy. But really, brahmacharya meaning in Sanskrit is you are living in the thoughts of Brahman. So, and that is easy in that age when particularly student life, when they have no other distraction. That's why that stage is called brahmacharya before grihastha. So the answer to that, yes, you should simultaneously practice. Even we talk about bhakti yoga, jnana yoga, raja yoga, karma yoga, not separately. Oh, I will do only bhakti yoga. I will do only. So right now the example is here in the center. Right now we did the little jnana yajna. Then we'll be doing bhajans. That is the bhakti yoga, and then we do the meditation. No, I don't think we'll be one minute meditation. Really, 1 minute if you do good. I said 12 seconds is dharana. So 1 minute meditation, if you can really do 1 minute meditation, that is pretty good Raja Yoga. And then we go and do the service, the karma yoga. So you can do same at the same time, and same thing in the Patanjali Ashta Yoga. You're able to do all that, then I think we progress well. But don't make it fragmented or compartmentalized. You should try to integrate everything and do it. Yeah. No, just we talked about it in the Sutra Vahini. Preliminary thing is the without vairagya, so you can't you cannot progress. You need to have detachment. That's beautiful story. Sri Ramakrishna Paramahansa said. One man there in Calcutta, they have the Ganges. Everything he gives the example of Ganges. So in the Ganges, they have to go cross one side to another. So that guy had to take a boat and class. So he came daytime to work. He worked the whole day and then he had to go back in his boat. So he was very happy he did it. Then he got his wages. He went there and got drunk. He got a lot of liquor. He got drunk. Then he went into the boat, sat, and then went on rowing the whole night. Next morning he woke up because the effect of that alcohol is gone. He's in the same place. He said, "Yeah, I'm in the same place. The problem is this boat is still anchored to the shore. He didn't release that anchor because he was not there. His mind was." Similarly, in life, we do this bhajan, we do this service, but still we are anchored to our body, mind, and attachment. If you don't have dispatch, you don't get that, then whatever you do, you will be stuck there only, any number of any years or any lifetime. So main thing is that dispassion, detachment from the sense objects world needs a constant practice. Not easy, but it can be done. So many great people, Mahatmas, have done that. It's not that something impossible. So many saints and sages have done, even devotees, we can follow their example, do it. So to look at their example, each one of us to practice ourselves and see where we are.